Have you heard of the US debt ceiling but have no idea what it is? No worries, you're not alone. In this video, we will explain everything you need to know about the US debt ceiling, why it matters, and the impact it can have on you and your family. So why is there a debt ceiling in the first place? Well, the debt ceiling was established in 1917 as a way to limit the amount of money the government could borrow during World War I. The idea is that by limiting the amount of debt the government can take on, it forces lawmakers to be more responsible with how they raise and spend taxpayer money. Think of it like a line of credit on your credit card. Now imagine instead of paying off your credit card on time, you keep asking for a credit line increase instead. What could possibly go wrong?
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who after crunching the numbers again, announced the U.S. will be unable to satisfy its obligations by early June.
Well, Congress has voted to raise the debt ceiling 102 times since World War II. The government can only borrow up to a certain amount, and once that limit is reached, Congress must vote to raise the debt ceiling. If they don't vote to raise it, then America will default on our payments. The US debt ceiling is currently $31.4 trillion. Yikes. Talk about major credit card debt. The government maxed this limit on January 19, 2023, more than 100 days ago. The Treasury Secretary has been moving money around and taking what are called extraordinary measures so we don't default while she waits for Congress to vote to raise the limit. This week she said we only have 30 days left. Congress must raise the debt ceiling by June 1st in order to continue funding its operations. What would you do if you owed that much money and time was running out to get a credit line increase? Right now, with a divided government, raising the debt ceiling is the most important debate in Washington. In 2011, a standoff between Republicans and Democrats over raising the debt ceiling led to a downgrade of the US credit rating for the first time in history. Think of it as your credit score going down because you didn't take the due date seriously. So why should you care about the debt ceiling? Well, if the US government were to exceed the debt ceiling without raising it, it would be unable to borrow money to pay its bills. This would lead to a default, which would have serious consequences for our economy and international markets. In fact, some experts are warning that a failure to raise the debt ceiling could trigger a global financial crisis, potentially even worse than the one that occurred in 2008. While the debt ceiling may seem like a technical issue, it has real-world consequences for ordinary Americans and citizens across the globe.
We pay our bills, and we should do so without reckless hostage-taking from some of the mega Republicans in Congress.
And our government is designed to find compromise. That's why the House, the Senate, and the White House should be negotiating a responsible debt limit increase right now.
President Biden has held firm that he will not negotiate on raising the debt ceiling. He wants Congress to cast a clean vote to raise the debt ceiling. That is a vote that does not contain any conditions. Meanwhile, the Republican House of Representatives passed a bill to raise the debt ceiling, but it includes spending cuts and other policy demands that Democrats do not support. This presents a significant problem in our divided government. Any deal must pass the House, the Senate, and then be signed by the president. But Democrats control the Senate and the White House, and the Republicans control the House. The bill that the Republicans have voted for in the House has zero chance of passage in the Senate and has no support from the president. So what does this all mean? This means neither side can come to an agreement at this time. Both sides posture for a political advantage. The X date, the day the US officially defaults on its debt, is now set for June 1st, less than a month away. Would you vote to raise the ceiling? Leave a comment below and we would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more informative content.